It's 7:24, and the president will be speaking at 3 o'clock Chicago time this afternoon about the tariffs. What can we expect? Well, with an idea of how it will affect the car people, we have someone who's been in the automotive industry for 45 years. On the south side, it's John Alfirevich, the owner of Apple Chevy. John, good morning. First question for you. Is there really such a thing as an American car that's 100% American?
Good morning, Bob. Not today. At one point in time, yes, that answer was yes, but we sort of drifted away over the years. So, sort of a cruddy day outside, probably perfect day to start tariffs. But there's a goal in mind. We need to get manufacturing back to this country. It's one of them. So.
In the meantime, how will American-made cars be affected? Do we really know yet?
There's a lot of confusion. Right now, they're putting tariffs on the end game that the car that's assembled. And so there's, questions coming up leading up today. We'll hear the president speak, on components. And, that can get real tricky. For example, our Equinox engine, just a piston alone, it starts in Ontario, Canada, and it goes to Toronto. Then it's shipped over to Detroit for finishing. Then it goes back to Canada, to Mexico for assembly, and then back to the United States. So that's 3 times it crosses the border. And if parts and this all comes into play with tariffs, it'll get confusing. But, and everybody's concerned with the, American and affordability. So that's the big issue. And I think the president, car manufacturers, and especially dealers, are really looking into that.
When would price increases actually hit the dealerships? How long after the tariffs go into effect would we see price increases and parts increases?
Well, the cars on ground are not affected. And so anything that crosses the border at this point, I think starting today, can be affected. So, or will be affected. Mm-hmm. So forward inventory will be, and from what I understand, the manufacturers, some of them will absorb some of this. We don't know how long this is going to take place, but there has to be an adjustment. The same way we lost manufacturing, we're trying to get it back in the same form. And I think a conversation has been had with the UAW and everything else, so I think when we bring back manufacturing, it's going to be a blessing, and we'll keep it strong. So there's security reasons too to have strong manufacturing in this country. So
UAW has been positive on this. I think a lot of people also are curious about not just buying a new car, but what happens when you take your car in for service. Based on what you're saying, with auto parts factories in Canada and Mexico, those parts prices would go up, and so would our service bill, correct?
Well, those part prices will go up, and there's a lot of effects to this. Let's go back to COVID. We saw a supply shortage, and then we saw part prices go up, but we also saw trade-ins go up. So if you have a trade-in, and back during the COVID days, it sort of superseded the increase in the price of the car. So a lot of people were in a very surprised position when they went out to buy a car. So I think the same thing happens here. Prices of used cars are definitely going to increase, and so if you have a trade-in, you're almost washing out the increase of the tariff.
We've seen all sorts of numbers on this. Car prices would go up $5,000. They go up $12,000. What do you think would be closer to reality as far as that number?
Well, actually, we had some meetings. I'm with Chevrolet, and we think anything that crosses the border is going to be $3,000 to $4,000 increase on the tariff. So, and where does that money go? I think as well that conversation's been had. I think there's going to be, the big three and anybody that wants to invest in this country. I think there'll be sort of incentives or interest-free loans to start immediately to build plants. So, some other manufacturers are going to get hit harder as far as the tariffs are concerned. And, so it's all in the calculation, and it all depends too on the actual parts and how many times they cross the border, and are they going to get tariffed or not.
Well, what I would advise you to do there in the lounge at your place is more snacks, more candy bars. Sugar high will be needed, I think. It's John Alfirevich at Apple Chevy in Tinley Park. Thanks, John. See you soon.
All right, you're welcome.
Take care now, and all the news is coming up right now for you.
This is John Williams. We're just a click away.